Hi, everyone. This is going to be our first episode of this new podcast called Sin Permiso, donde lo políticamente correcto se queda afuera. And we're going to have a really special guest. This is Nena Whitfield, which is our president of Ladies of Liberty Alliance, which is from LOLA. And we're going to talk about the monopoly on discourse. Which means that we're going to talk about how Lola or how Nina actually changed the entire discourse about feminism and the ideas of liberty toward women. So first of all, I think that we all think that maybe these great ideas comes with these meetings that have whiteboards and that are really serious. But as we were speaking the other day, you told us that actually Lola came from like a really innocent meeting with a lot of drinks and girls hanging out. And we wanted you to tell us a little bit more detail about the experience, how it was for you to like sit and have this idea and said, okay, let's do it.
Okay, yes. So I was on a political campaign, and it was me. In every state that I went to was a presidential campaign, and so we do the elections by state. We could also go to my room. I hate to interrupt, but like it's much quieter there. No, just keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, then. Okay, so I was on a political campaign, and there was a lot of people on the campaign. Numbers-wise, there were some girls, but every state that I went to Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, and I was one of the only girls or the only one. And then I didn't think anything of it, really. I was just working all day, all night for my my candidate, and sadly we lost, but we were all super excited about this candidate, and there were people from different states also. When we would get together at a conference, we would always do something for our candidate, do a party or something. And one of these conferences was Freedom Fest. We decided, somebody said we should do a ladies' night. So we just got together, and all of a sudden we were in a room with, 30 people who thought like us and were also women. And we all sort of suddenly realized at the exact same time that we hadn't felt that way ever before. We hadn't felt that we were in a group with people like we just suddenly felt like we were part of something bigger than ourselves and somewhere that we belonged. So we knew we couldn't stop there. We knew we had to keep it going, this feeling that we really belonged there, and we needed to bring other women in so they could also feel this way. So that's the innocent start of the Ladies of Liberty Alliance. And we've just kept it going.
I love the story because right now Nina was like, okay, we can do this like at our room because we have like a lot of noise right now. But I mean, right now we're having like this conversation in a retreat right now, and sometimes like best ideas go with conversation like this or like meetings like this in a hotel that a lot of us were like meeting for the first time. And so I think that these places and these meetings actually are really where they are trying to actually develop like the growth of women and develop their skills. And I don't know if you want to to tell us like a detail from that conference or that meeting of if you have ever have a meeting with a woman that you said, okay, she's inspiring, and I think that this is why I think this can go on.
That night we knew that we wanted to keep it going. We didn't know what we would do. I really love the Leadership Institute, an organization in DC that does leadership training. It does it specifically for young conservatives. I thought we should do it for any age women who are libertarian, but that was kind of my idea. Different people had different ideas, like think tank. Oh, we should do, we should run for office. Different ideas, and we're doing a lot of things. At some point, we started all doing a lot of things at the same time. Being libertarians, it's hard to herd us and tell us exactly what we should do. So we just kept working. But a year later, Some people had dropped out, and there was some, tension between libertarians always happens.
Yeah.
I just stuck with it. I'm not afraid of tension. So at that point, somebody, people asked if I would become the president, and then also I shut down a lot of the different projects we had going on. I wanted to focus on training. But then it seemed like people really liked this group feeling. We would have trainings, and it would be like in Dallas, how to get published. So a bunch of people would come to this training, even if they didn't care about how to get published. They just wanted to be in a room with other liberty-minded women. And then afterwards, they're like, okay, so let's hang out now.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that we're going to do to get together? They really crave this this network that by now, this was over 10 years ago. By now we have grown so much that in the cities where we have chapters, people do have that feeling of not just being a part of this amazing movement for the betterment of humanity, for peace and prosperity, and for, happiness, more happiness for everyone, to have better lives, but also to feel like they belong there.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, we all celebrate our events. We actually love to publish about it in social media, but sometimes it's just not about conferences or just meetings and stuff. I think the women actually are being really misunderstood about the ideas of liberty, and it's really hard for us to be in those kind of spaces, which is actually why LOLA it's alive, and you decided to start something so big, a movement that actually allows women to feel safe about them. But a lot of women actually don't know how to manage that pressure. And I don't know if you had like that moment when you wanted to stop.
Personally, I did not, but many people have told me. And I've experienced this. It just didn't, like I said, I'm not afraid of tension, but like guys coming up and they're like, oh, you're libertarian, but what are you not libertarian on? Let's find out one thing that we disagree on. It's like, calm down. Can't you be happy to meet a lady of liberty, and we can just talk about what we do agree on, and how we can make the world a better place. And I've seen that happen with other people also, where people they're like a deer in headlights. They're frozen. What do you say to that?
Yeah.
That's not inviting. That's not welcoming. That's not going to keep people around. So that's the kind of experience that a lot of people have in their first introduction to a libertarian event. They might meet somebody who, sort of they have a fire that's beginning to grow, and somebody just blows it out.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, a lot of narratives that we have, like a competition about how our flame wants to be blown out about other people. I think that is the main narrative about feminism, that is mostly Marxism. And it's really hard for us, libertarian women, to actually try to make women understand that these are the ideas that help them and help the society to be more developed and actually being happy. So about that, how do you think that our leadership will be better, or should grow in 5 years, or what should we do as women to make people understand that this is the right way?
I do think that women have a special ability to share the message of liberty that men don't have. For 40 plus years, it was male libertarians spreading the message in the same way. And so we just get more of the same people who then repeat the cycle, but with more women who are ambassadors for liberty. And this has been researched and proven that libertarian women are more, this is not also a surprise to anyone. Libertarian women are more empathetic than libertarian men. And conservatives and progressives, leftists, I guess, and I don't know, people further on the right are also more empathetic. So it helps women help bridge the gap between liberty ideas and people who are different than us, not just left and right, but also people who are not even interested in politics, because they can best convey those messages about politics and political issues and how they affect people in their everyday life. You know, how the tax on gasoline affects a mom trying to drive her kids to school. It's just more effective than talking about, I don't know, the laws of supply and demand, which we learn eventually, but that's the same thing for every political issue. And so right now we are still growing a lot. 5 years ago, we had just had a handful of international chapters, and now LOLA has grown so much exponentially. And so if we continue to grow like this, I mean, in 5 years only, we will be, I think, a major player in the liberty movement, yes, but also in politics in many places. We have many Lolas running for office, but we'll have many more. And it won't just be women in libertarian women in politics, but politicians will care what Lolas think. And so it'll be a whole new dynamic.
Yeah, that's I think that that's amazing. But if you want to like go to the straight to the audience, especially for women that are like new in ideas for liberty, or they want to like search for or look for a space that they want to feel safe, what will be the message for them? What would you say to that woman that it's desperate looking for someone or something that understands them?
Well, that's why LOLA exists. So if they're in the town where anyone else lives, there's definitely more people like you. You just have to find them. There's lots of ways that we can help you find them if you find us at ladiesofliberty.org. If there's a chapter near you, we can help you. If there isn't a chapter near you, we can help you start one and help you figure out how to reach them. I mean, in billions of people in the world, percentage-wise, there's a lot of libertarians. You know, it's still hundreds of millions, and then the percentage of them that are women is still, you know, 100 millions, in the tens of millions, and they're out there. So we just need to kind of find them, and then the power of the internet. We're all just so much closer and connected, and we can find each other out there.
Yeah, we can encourage you to actually be a part of this breakthrough for the monopoly that the discourse of Marxism, feminism has been having these past years. I mean, it's amazing to actually hear someone like you that has been an inspiration for us, and we will love you. We will love you to be to still be an inspiration to other women as you have been to us. So I wanted to thank you to this interview. I thought it was really good. My English is it's not that good, but it was nice to having you with us. Thank you so much for supporting this project. Thank you.